Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, January 18th. And I've kind of decided to break up my little videos into kind of sort of two parts, more like what's happening around us, like as in like, local or just kind of like, basic human news. And then I'm going to go into off-world news, basically, kind of what I've been hearing off off planet, what's going on. So, the reason why I'm sharing kind of from my perspective, what I'm getting, it's kind of like some really basic intel. Um, it's because I want you guys to not just take my word for it, but also try to validate it by listening if it matches up with other sources that you hear as well. So it isn't just coming from me. But yeah, I kind of want to go back into uh, what I heard. Oh man, this is probably at least 7 years ago. I started waking up well, before that, but I started going on the internet and checking out different stories, and a lot of these videos that I came across are long gone. They've been buried. They've been taken off for sure. They've been scrubbed, and a lot of them was really really good intel. Anyway, one strange one that really stuck out in my mind was, um, yeah, it was really weird. It was it was like almost like a blank screen or something, and it was talking about uh, off-world entities asking permission of people, on the planet, uh, if if we need or want their help. It's kind of strange. And I remember listening to this, like, yeah, well, duh, that'd be kind of nice. Uh, but it's like they needed to get a certain amount. They said something about that, like a certain percentage of people have to ask for their help before they can come and you know and help out. Sort of. Anyway, it was like just one of those really weird ones. It's almost like that. There was like I think it was in the '70s or something. There was a transmission in Britain, like in the UK or something. It was a TV channel that just kind of stopped, and then it got a message from some ETs, which I guess turns out to be uh, later on when I investigated, it was from a group from Venus or something. I mean, these are just wild stories. But anyway, so I remember that, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I want to ask for help for sure. Just any help we can get. Because by that time, I'm talking, you know, 7 years ago, I was realizing, boy, we're really in a mess. We're in a heap of trouble. Just because what I realized is we're being controlled so much. Anyway, so fast forward, I did a lot more research too, and I still do to this day, obviously. But I'm just saying it was kind of my real basis, you know, for information that I was looking into. And one of the strangest things was, all these elite, or not really elite, obviously, all these controller type people were visiting Antarctica for some reason. They were going there, and we all, in our minds, we're always thinking, well, it's just a big iceberg, basically, with some penguins hanging out. Well, as it turns out, obviously, one story led into another, like, Operation High Jump and things like that, where, you know, Admiral Byrd went down there with a ship right after the Second World War supposedly ended, and there was kind of a Nazi base down there, and it makes for really interesting stories and stuff. But was there any truth behind it? Well, as the years went by, there was definitely more intel that I found out was, yeah, there was some sort of um, buried crafts deep underneath the ice. So who knows how many millions of years ago that craft was there, but somehow they came across it, and you know uh, there was like some reverse engineering going on down there, everything, whatever. And I think they're also being led by off-world entities, like as in, you know, kind of giving them some guidance on, what their agenda was. But anyway, So fast forward to now, what's been happening around the world is these very similar big giant craft are being found all over the place. I guess there's one really really deep in the Bermuda Triangle, like in basically in the Atlantic Ocean there. Um, well, basically at the bottom, so it's like it's unreachable pretty much. Um, but anyway, the same sort of description of these buried. Well, they're calling them arcs now. So it's like a big machine that's gathered information and let's say plants and whatever, and it's like almost like in some sort of um, storage. It's almost as if it's been stopped in time or something. Well, anyway, it's going to kind of get woo woo here. But anyway, the similarities, because from the one that I also found out years ago about, there was one in deep underground buried. These are all buried, and the reason why I think they're buried is because they've been here for so long. But anyway, there was one that they also discovered. I think it was like in the 80s or something in Romania, and as usual, you know, the dark military basically takes it over. You know, the same one that kind of buried the stories with Roswell type of thing. They went there, they tried to take over. So I've researched a lot of different stories about that one, and it's really strange technology. It's not like our modern technology at all. It's I guess it's like based on some sort of uh, crystal formations or something. It's like that's how it kind of works, because as we all know, crystal can hold, like crystal quartz and stuff like that, can hold memory or data to it, and so somehow that's their operating system. I know it's kind of out there and everything, but what caught my memory, just sort of turned it on, is the fact that the one down in Antarctica and also the one in Romania, for some reason they couldn't get through past or get inside. There was some sort of barrier stopping just regular human beings or regular military from going inside trying to find more information. It's almost like they had a built-in defense system where people were actually disintegrated before they could even go deep inside these time machines or these capsules, these arcs. I know this is starting to sound way out there, but what's happening now is, if this is true, if they're finding them all over the world, it's because, like, I'm always trying to link stories and stuff like that. It's because Earth beings basically asked for help a long time ago, and I'm trying to connect the dots here, and and I also know right now that our planet is just completely surrounded by craft. We don't see them right now, and they're basically not making themselves visual to us at all yet. So they're out there and they're watching, and they're in a sense protecting us, because we're going through this stage of house cleaning our planet. We're getting rid of all the dark negative entities, and they're helping. I know this is going to sound bizarre, but what we're going through right now, it kind of reminds me of back in the 80s. Like that's what, that 40 years ago or something. uh, People, as a basic mindset, didn't believe in ghosts. It was just pretty much, yeah, ghosts, make fun of it, put it in cartoons and things like that. Yeah, Casper the Ghost, whatever. Nobody really took it serious, even though we realized there's some people do believe in it. And then come around to like 10 years later after that, all of a sudden people are taking it really serious, and they're like, there's TV shows, now there's ghost hunters, and now it's like, and now when you talk to somebody just on the street, you say, well, do you believe in ghosts? And they go, yeah, of course, there's ghosts, whatever. It becomes like just a regular accepted fact after a while. Why? Because the media pushes it too, but But I'm just saying, so people now are aware. Okay, there's probably such a thing as ghosts. That's cool. That's kind of interesting. We don't know how to get in touch with them. There's only, you know, psychic people can do that type of thing. But anyway, that same sort of thing that they're going through there, it took about 10 years for people to get up to speed, is what we're going through right now. Like, we're going through this concept of like, no, there's no such thing as ETs, like even up to 10 years ago, to slowly people are getting more and more, their minds are changing. It's like, yeah, there probably is ETs out there. And they're probably in contact with a lot of different people. And because there's so many more stories out there that people are not talking about at all. They just keep it to themselves, including what happened to me. So, like, you just don't talk. It's not common conversation with people. You don't talk about your, extraterrestrial experiences. So anyway, that's changing now. And like I told you, I think in a few videos back, whatever. By this time next year, it's going to be pretty much common knowledge that yes, of course, there's off-world entities, extraterrestrials, and they're involved in us. And then people are going to clue in. It's like, well, if there's ETs out there, there's probably kind of good ones or bad ones. Probably just the same as like us. And then we're going to make connections where, wait a minute, that's kind of why they've been influencing kind of bad people on Earth, controlling us with that. And then we're going to start cluing in more and more and more. And it's going to become this great awakening to that is actually who we are. We're actually part of this universe. We're just a small part of it. So it's just that we've been dumbing down and lied to, so we don't think that we exist alongside of all these other beings out there. But we're going to be cluing in really fairly quickly here. And the intel that I've been getting, my guides anyway, that's why I'm trying to connect this to it, is yeah, they're going to be showing themselves more and more, but not the way people think. They're not going to land on the White House lawn and say, we come in peace or something. It was never really like that. I mean, that's kind of the Hollywood cartoonish version. But what it is for the most part, what's been happening for, well, hundreds, let alone probably thousands of years, is they'll have contact with people either on purpose or an accident because they're trying to get in touch with their galactic families. And we're part of this whole galactic family. And they were trying to get a hold of somebody that was here on Earth, and something went wrong, or for instance, their craft crashed to Earth or whatever. And it's usually been just, as soon as, because the military is onto it, and there's kind of like a special division that's all they listen to or listen for is when there's an unexplainable phenomena or craft, and they go out there. It's very much like Men in Black. And they'll take it and they'll literally try to wipe everybody's memory. And so it's like, that was kind of a form of disclosure because that's really going on, or has been for a long, long time. And they've basically been hiding the fact that there's, reverse engineered craft that they've taken, and they don't want anybody to know this because at first it was started out as a more like they wanted the edge. They wanted, because I mean, if there was a craft that landed in my backyard and had fantastic information, I want to keep it for myself and go not only reverse engineer it and figure out how it works, but it's like if I realize it's got some sort of superpowers to it, it's like, wow, I want to take advantage of that, and I want to be the only one that knows about this and figure out how it works. Well, that's kind of what's been happening on a country level. So if it lands in a certain country, they don't want to tell the whole world that they've got something that's fantastic. I mean, obviously, to do the right thing, they should have. We all agree about that. But that's kind of what's been happening around the world. And it's just they've been keeping these secrets to themselves and not disclosing it. Well, anyway, that's going to be rolling out more and more. And so, from my connections, my telepathic connections that I've been getting is they've come here. There's so many different kinds, but it's like in a sense a split faction of good ones and bad ones, which is more positive and negative. And the positive ones have been coming here for quite some time, but they can't interfere or go above our will, but they've been kind of asking us if we want help, and yes, of course we do, type of thing, get these evil entities off our backs. So they've been kind of helping us and working with us get rid of them. So, and we're at a stage now where most of the negative entities have been rounded up. I'll just put it that way. So now it's about clean up the collaborators on this planet, the people that were basically going along with this plan. They were either blackmailed or whatever. I'm not sure, bought out. Usually bought out. I mean, it's like if you keep the secret, we're going to make you rich and famous, you know. But anyway, so I thought I was going to give you kind of just a lot of information to pack in here. But basically, the stage we're at is we're fighting for humanity's freedom right now, and I've been saying this from the beginning. And there's a lot of deception and stuff going on out there. A lot of secrets are going to be revealed. But we're waking up to this new reality of we are part of this universe. We are just another kind of species that has been tweaked, and and we have a lot of different genetic influences in our body too, because they've been kind of tweaking our DNA for thousands of years, and that's why we've kind of grown into this being that we are right now. They've been tweaking us a lot, and anyway, it's going to become more and more obvious. So two things are going to happen. It's going to become really obvious on Earth what's been kind of going on behind the scenes. We're going to be revealing basically like a dark cabal that's been controlling us, regular people, with the influence of off-world entities. And then you're going to see more exposed disclosure of we are part of this off-world family. It's our true social life. That's who we belong to. It's just going to be revealed more and more. So you got to expect some stuff, crazy stuff that's going to be happening over the next year. But the good part about it is we're going to be getting our freedom back. So this is going to be turned into really, really awesome. Because also what's going to come along with this is a lot of hidden technology that they've been taking advantage, the negative guys, but it's going to be revealed to us, to the regular population. And so we're going to be getting that hidden technology and getting more and more of our freedom as time rolls out. So yeah, that's just kind of a quick update. I'm always try to simplify it and make it short and sweet. It does kind of get complicated. It's kind of an interesting, complicated story, and we're writing it. We're co-writing it. People that are participating along with this, it's basically we're part of this freedom operation. So we're connecting to each other, helping each other wake up, and trying to get away from this control system as much as we can. So that's part of it. Anyway, that's my just short little update for today. So, and I'm going to probably go more into that as we go in the future. I'm going to try to separate it as like what's going on planet Earth and then kind of what's going on off planet Earth, because I'm getting more information on both sides. And then we have to make it make sense together. Okay, that's it for today. Stay positive. That's part of it again. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.